in terms of just transition, we are pushing strongly on just transition at this COP, as Africa or as developing countries, because of the unilateral actions that are being taken by the developed world. For example, we have what we call the carbon adjustment mitigation mechanism, which is going to put taxes on certain products that will come from developing countries, simply because those products are seen to be products that have led to some emissions that have been generated. This will not be very fair to us. For example, our cocoa could be affected, rubber could be affected, and some other important primary resources could be affected, and that can affect our economy. So we are saying that the transition must be just. In addition, if you look at countries like Ghana, where we have just discovered oil, if we are going to transition, and that transition is going to be very sharp, it means that we need to allow our natural resources that have been discovered to remain in the ground. That will be what we call stranded assets. Now, these stranded assets, who pays for the opportunity cost of the stranded assets which will be left on the ground? So we are saying that the transition should be just. We should consider the economies of all these developing and vulnerable countries and make certain special case, so that we are not badly affected because of some of these unilateral actions that the developed world is taking. Then we are pushing for increase in adaptation financing. Climate financing cover both mitigation and adaptation. We are saying that we should shift resources more towards adaptation, because you see, adaptation is here with us today. Mitigation is about the future, but adaptation is here with us today because we are bearing the brunt of the problem. And so we need to solve the problem. We need to be able to bounce back with all these negative impacts that are affecting countries because of climate change. So we are saying that more resources should be allocated also for climate change adaptation. So these are the very important issues that are topical in the discussions. There is still this whole debate about transitioning away from fossil fuels, facing down, or moving away from fossil fuels completely. That debate is still there. Of course, the like-minded countries are still at where they are, insisting that no, we should have transitioning away, so that it's a process and not an event. Of course, the developed world is insisting that we should move away completely from fossil fuels. So that debate is also still ongoing in the negotiations. It's still early days, and so we are unable to tell how things would end up. But negotiations are advancing in these areas, and very soon we would see the direction that things are going in terms of what decisions will be made.